years down the road, 2 years from now, what are you seeing in your development? Where's it taking you? I mean, you're building it.
Um, I would say somewhere where I would want to be, where I have that comfortableness of the life that I want, the life that I'm working hard for, and being able to venture out in life. And I want to be a traveler. I want to travel to different countries and like explore different cultures, right? Because there's so much to life that we're not close to, right? There's so many things happening in different countries that you have no idea about. There's certain cultures, there's certain words, certain, types of food, certain things that they do. It's very different compared to what we do. Or even, when I used to go to Bangladesh, completely different. There's so much to learn and enjoy different parts of the world. Not to be close to the United States. Right? That's pretty much it. That's like my end goal. I want to be successful at everything I do and just be able to enjoy life with the people that I'm around, right? Like as I said, like I want to be able to share the opportunities that I come across with my loved ones, right? And it's to the point where like I won't push it, but I'll push it to the point where like if I truly believe in it and it can really help you, I'm gonna really push you towards doing it, right? As your friend, kind of friend am I gonna be if I'm not gonna help you push to build a better life for yourself too, right? And I feel like that's what friendship is for me, realistically, right? Holding someone down when they need it, right? And, helping them be a better person as well, right? And a lot of friends that I have right now, they're that type of friend in the sense where like just believing in me is good enough, right? You don't need to do anything else for me. You believing in me is enough to push me out on days where I don't believe in myself, right? That's something that may happen a lot throughout those speed bumps that we spoke about.
Mhm.
It could lead you to, a dark, you know, underneath the shade for a little bit, right? And um, so that's why I gotta pick the people that I'm around because there's days where I don't believe in myself, where I just feel like gravitating to the past, but I have people that actually remind me, give me that reminder that I need. Like, yo, you've done this, why the heck are you gonna turn back, right? Make bust a U-turn and go back to base of where you started from, right? And
Mhm.
it's to the point where like for me personally, the person that you used to be will be the person that you fear the most, right? As a person I never want to be again.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Those days when it's not working, when you off the wagon, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
or the wagon is off the rail, right?
Hmm.
Is it that your friends notice that, or you reach out to them, your support system? How does that work?
So for me, I go through things on my own, right? I have one person who's in my daily life and she believes in me, right? I would say honestly, if she wasn't here, I would be in a very difficult position, right? Because this is the point where like on those certain days that I didn't believe in myself, she believed in me completely in the sense, right? From like that's literally what she made me feel. And for that, I would say, and it's been 2 years for that while I was doing this, she was there to help me.
Mhm.
She was one of the few people that was constant, right? And as I said, like that, those days, it could be a very, very, it could be like nighttime. Like there's no, it's not even clouded. It's just dark, right? And yeah, certain individuals, they could help you as long. Okay, this is another thing, right? For me personally, I believe that you can't help someone that isn't willing to participate in their own rescue, right? And I was that person for a very long time where it's to the point where like if I have people that actually want to help me and literally all I need to do is get my head together to really prioritize on what needs to be done, why the hell am I not doing that, right? So it's to the point where I kind of got into meditation, right? And I did therapy for a couple sessions. Um, my first therapy session was actually the life-changing event for me because I spoke about all of this. I'm like, yo, I need to do this, I need to do blah blah blah, all of that. And we realized a lot of things. Um, yeah, man, it's, sorry, where was it going right before that? I'm just,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just have so
we're
much to talk
talking
about.
about when you're in that place and you're off the rail, right? You're not
Uh-huh.
going in the direction that you want
Mhm.
to go.
Yeah.
How do you get back on? Is it your friends that say, hey, Nafis, something is
Mhm.
off, and what's going on with you? Or is it something that you just notice?
So I had another person, he kind of gave it to me very straight, right? It's to the point where like a lot of people may presume him to be an asshole, right? But in reality, he's just straight to the point, right?
Mhm.
So he kind of gave it to me straight when we were first speaking and stuff like that, and he thought I would have disliked it, right? But honestly, I appreciated that conversation because most people um
Sugarcoated.
they sugarcoat stuff, right? And it's to the point where like I appreciate people giving it to me straight. And
Great talk.
he recommended me a book. It was called Meditation by Marcus something, right? So once I read that book, and it was actually the first one of the first few books that I've read, right? And I started reading books what 2021. 2021. The last time I read a book was probably when I was in 10th grade. I never finished the book, I don't think. But this time, this meditation book, it was the first time I finished the book, right?
Mhm.
And it's about stoic. I'm not sure if you know the term or if I'm even saying it right, but that more so it's about a perspective of life in the sense where like you think more with logic rather than relying on emotional decisions, right? And I feel like my emotional decisions were based on reaction
Mhm.
rather than a response in the sense. I
Big
feel like
stuff there. Big stuff.
reaction, yeah, I feel like reaction is much more impulsive and stuff like that. And I was making impulsive decisions with everything in my life, right? And it was stuff that would be easy to make in the moment and not really care about the consequences, right? And it's to the point where like everything that you do has a reaction at the end of it. And it's depends on you what you want the consequence to be, right? So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up reaction and responsive, because if you're living in a reactionary state, you will never solve any of your
Hmm.
problems. There are no solutions there.
Hmm.
When you start to respond to your situations, to your challenges, when you really start to find solutions. So
Hmm.
that you're at a place and that you have recognized and have applied that mindset.
Hmm.
And it's so important, big, and that's big stuff there, big
Hmm.
stuff there. As we're coming close to the end of our conversation here today, and what a conversation, you know, what takeaway would you like for that one person who's listening, who's having, facing challenges with
Hmm.
what, what am I here for? Why am I here?
Hmm.
What is that one? It could be two things, but what is it that you want them to take away from our conversation?
So honestly, I would say as I said before, like if you believe yourself to be a good person, and as I said, other the energy that you surround yourself with is contagious, right? So you gotta first evaluate the surroundings of what you're around, right? And you also got to be open to look within, look within yourself in the sense where like look in the mirror and see what you see and see who you don't want to be, right? And come to that reality that let's say you're this type of person who's down and stuff like that and you believe yourself to be good. Being as I said before, like being good to others is selfish, right? In the sense where like you're being selfish to yourself, right?
Mhm.
Because as I said before, if you're not good to yourself, how are you gonna be good to others, right? So you have to be good to yourself. You have to prioritize what can give you peace. You don't want to seek you don't want to chase after happiness, right? So for me, I think honestly, everything has an expiration date, right? There's a there needs to be somewhat of a balance, right? Between your highs and lows. You're never gonna be constantly at your highs. It's the way of life. It's sadly how it works, right? From what I've gathered. You gotta learn to find balance where you keep pushing through whatever puts you down, right? And you have to come to that conclusion of understanding that 80% of the stuff in your life you could control, right? Aside from like health stuff and whatnot, sure, there are certain things that you could do that may benefit your health. But let's say, other stuff, right? Aside from that, most things you could change in your life, right? People that you surround yourself with, person that you want to be, realistically speaking, you could be a completely different person the next day, right? If you do it with intention of wanting to be that person. And while trying to go through that process, you have to hold yourself accountable every process of the way at this. It may hurt, right? And it's very tough to do. I'm still going through that situation of holding myself accountable, right? But just even knowing that and consistently trying to change that, I do think, you know, it'll take its course. I feel like, as we spoke about before, um, like if you don't learn your lesson, you're just bound to repeat it, right? For me, I feel as if I'm on a lesson that it needs to be relearned, right? In the sense where like I need to keep going through it in order for me to really figure it out. Because of one, right? It's to the point where I believe in myself where I don't care about the failures that happen now for the most part, right? I'm gonna figure it out, right? And that's the kind of mindset I feel as if you have to just constantly realize because every time you do something, you're gonna be better the next time, right? Doesn't matter if it's by 1%, half a percent, you're gonna eventually get to 100%. That's it. That's the way you gotta go about it life.
And that's the mindset, right?
Mhm,
Because what a lot of people see as failure, it's just an opportunity to learn.
mhm. Because I feel like, sorry if I'm making this conversation very long.
No, no, go
I f-
ahead.
I feel as if school does that. Like in general, I feel like school itself, because it's a big part of most people's life, right? Regardless of, let's say, even third generation countries. School plays a big role in a lot of kids' life, right? Where I feel as if growing up all the way to college and all that stuff, failure is looked down upon, right? And because of that, people are scared to take that leap of faith in themselves or other things. You know, can't be scared to jump, and if you jump, you'll learn how to freaking land on your feet. You'll just be falling in the midst of it. But once you figure out how to land, you'll land.
And then you get up,
Exactly. Right.
get up.
And that's pretty much it. Like you'll keep falling, and once you get it, you'll be able to. You'll never be really hitting the floor unless you decide to quit. Like actually quit. That's when you'll hit the floor. But till then, enjoy the fall till you figure it out.
See the opportunities in the fall, right?
Yeah.
Because indeed there are
Mhm.
opportunities there. And nobody said it was going to be easy. It was going to be easy road, right?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not. It's still not easy, but as long as you believe in yourself, realistically, you need to really push that belief. Like once I feel as if when you really believe in yourself, other people believe in what you say, right?
What's
And
first belief in yourself?
that's pretty much all you need. Work towards finding that belief, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that can bring you that peace, not happiness.
Mhm.
Don't go chasing after happiness. That never usually works, right? Because once you get it, it may just go away.
Mhm.
But when you go for peace, that's something that stays intact. That's like I would say, the connector for everything, right? That's the main source of
Peace.
something that you want, right?
You said peace.
Yeah, peace. Like that can help you learn to use your head and learn to use your heart better. You're able to use it together, I would say, more so together.
And when
You
those two are in alignment, and good stuff.
know? Yeah, exactly. You attract the life that you want. You attract the life that makes you happy. Because happiness is just a state of mind. That's
Mhm.
pretty much it for me.
Just a state of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome there. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, as you are walking, right,
Mm-hmm.
through this journey called life,
Mm-hmm.
what is that one thing that when you can no longer do anything about it, it's no longer within your control? What is that one thing you want your friends and family to say about Nafis?
So one thing that I can't control,
And
um,
you're no longer able to because you've done all you can. You're just a
mhm.
name.
In
You know,
what sense, if you don't mind me asking?
if let's okay, so you've done your work, you did your piece, and now you don't have any influence over anything anymore. Your
Mm-hmm.
work's done.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want people to remember you? What is that one thing?
I would say me being who I am in the sense where like I would say one thing. One thing I would want them to say. I value I value people for what they bring to the table in the sense of not pocket wise, I'm talking about as an individual, right? How solid are you? That's what I value. So value is something I would use as one word. Kind of value do you bring to my life, and what kind of value can I bring to your life, right? Where I could make you a better person, and vice versa, right? That's pretty much it.
And that's you value people.
Yeah,
At the end
exactly.
of the day, it's all about people.
Yeah, 'cause,
Yeah.
you know, respect, loyalty, and all that stuff, it goes a long way. It can do you. It just makes life easier with everybody, and it's to the point where like you build a family through that, different bonds with different people, right? And they all come from different cultures, family, and all that stuff, right? Make your own family. You, you got a mix of every single country in your circle. Why not?
Yeah.
I think
No,
alike.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I want to congratulate you on your real estate practice, your real estate business, and also
Thank you.
congratulate you on your first closing, which you said you had
Mm-hmm.
and I know you'll have many, many more with taking the approach about people. But that
Mm-hmm.
is a business about people. That is about people,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of people.
Yeah,
So
I
with that
believe.
mindset that you have and that belief system that it's about valuing people
Mm-hmm.
well in the real
Mm-hmm.
estate industry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Right. That's one thing I've. That's one thing I would say from my mentor in real estate as well. Like seeing him bring that to the table is somebody that I would want to be learning from. Right. He's the only reason why I got into real estate. Literally just because of that. Seeing how he caters to other people and they value him back. Right. Makes life easier. He's someone that shows me a type of life that I would want to live.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know.
It's so important there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you learn from others and you watch people, and then
Mm-hmm.
that you admire them, and then man, I wouldn't mind being like such and such because they're doing good things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you're driven and you're drawn to
Mm-hmm.
things that align with your belief system,
Mm-hmm.
your values. So that's
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah. Before we close, do you have any closing remarks? Anything you like to say before we close?
Um. Okay. So pick apart certain things you admire from people and become your own person. Right. Like you don't have to copy someone exactly. Right. Take out certain traits from certain individuals that give you that feeling of who you want to be, and become your own person. Become a mixture of all those traits and just form it into one of what you want. That's it.
Select the pieces or the parts of the pie. So you
Yeah. Select the pieces of a puzzle. It could be any puzzle. Make that puzzle. It's a brand new game.
Mhm,
It comes intact. You built it.
mhm. All right. So, Mr. Ahmed, I want to thank you for joining me today on the A Collision with Purpose project on the Spotlight.
Mhm.
Your insights will undoubtedly add immense value to the conversation about purpose. I'm looking forward to having you back on the Spotlight to continue our conversation about purpose. I know you said that 2.5 years ago you had your A collision, but you're still in pursuit, as you said. You're
Mhm.
pursuing it, and that your purpose is so much about personal development, helping others to do what you're doing to develop self as well. I know your work will continue in terms of your purpose and the pursuit of your purpose. So
Mhm.
you're invited to come back on.
I'm glad to be here, and I'll be glad to be here next time.
Awesome, awesome. So, folks, this brings us to the end of this edition of the A Collision with Purpose project under the Spotlight. If you're like some individuals and would like to have a better understanding of your purpose, then please submit your short video speaking on the topic of purpose to a collisionwithpurpose@gmail.com. If you would like to participate in an interview much like this one with Mr. Ahmed, then please submit your request to be interviewed to a collisionwithpurpose@gmail.com. Please note that your interview and your short video will be posted on our social media platform. That is it for now. Blessings always.